From the moment we are born, numbers weave themselves into the fabric of our existence. They appear in the date of our birth, the cycles of our lives, and the mysterious patterns that guide us toward our destiny. Among these sacred numbers, each one carries its own vibration, a unique song written into the soul before we ever draw breath. And for those whose life path number is 6, the melody of their life is one of service, compassion, harmony, and the eternal call to nurture. To understand the 6 is to step into the archetype of the guardian, the healer, the cosmic parent who embodies love as both gift and burden, both blessing and lesson. This number is not merely a digit upon a page. It is a portal into the essence of human care, of divine responsibility, of the heart's sacred duty to hold and to heal. The 6 is the archetype of the heart-centered soul. When you encounter a person whose life path is 6, you are often meeting someone who instinctively knows how to comfort, how to listen, how to create a space where others feel safe. They may not even realize how powerful this gift is, because to them it comes as naturally as breathing. The 6 embodies what ancient numerologists called the vibration of Venus, the planet of beauty, love, and home. Just as Venus shines as a beacon in the night sky, so too does the 6 radiate warmth and a sense of belonging. Their presence can feel like a hearth fire on a cold night, drawing others closer, offering light, warmth, and reassurance. It is this quality that makes them beloved friends, loyal partners, devoted parents, and in many cases, healers in the truest sense of the word. But the path of the 6 is not simple, nor is it easy. For every gift that the number offers, it carries with it a challenge, a shadow that must be faced. The 6 learns that love can suffocate as easily as it can liberate, that care can turn into control, and devotion into martyrdom. This number is the great paradox of responsibility: to give without losing oneself, to serve without becoming enslaved to the needs of others, to nurture without stifling the very growth one wishes to encourage. The soul who carries the 6 must discover the balance between offering their heart and protecting it, between embracing the role of guardian and remembering that they too are human, fragile, and deserving of care. In personality, the 6 is magnetic in a quiet, steady way. While the number 1 blazes trails and the number 3 dazzles with creativity, the 6 anchors. They are the friend who remembers your birthday, the neighbor who brings soup when you are sick, the parent who sacrifices their own comfort so their children can thrive. Their sense of responsibility is profound, often feeling less like a choice and more like a calling written into their very bones. To a 6, love is not an abstract idea, it is action, duty, and sacrifice. They may feel restless or uneasy when they are not in service to others, as though something within them longs to be poured out, to find expression through giving. This makes them extraordinary teachers, counselors, doctors, artists, homemakers, and community leaders. Wherever they stand, they create a circle of safety, a structure of care, and an environment where others can breathe more deeply. The strength of the 6 lies in this devotion. Few numbers can match their loyalty, their willingness to stand beside those they love through storm and shadow. They are often old souls, arriving in this life with a natural wisdom about human emotions. They understand intuitively what others need to feel whole, often before those others can articulate it themselves. Their homes become sanctuaries, their relationships often last lifetimes, and their presence in a community can transform the lives of many. To know a six is to be cared for in ways that leave an imprint upon the heart. They remind us of the sacredness of human connection, of the importance of love expressed not just in words, but in deeds. Yet the very strengths of the six can, when unbalanced, become chains. The desire to care can morph into the need to control. Their sense of responsibility can weigh so heavily upon them that they forget their own dreams, burying personal desires beneath the needs of others. A six who has not learned the art of self-care can find themselves depleted, bitter, or even resentful, trapped in cycles of giving without ever receiving. And because the six carries such a strong archetype of the caregiver, they can unconsciously fall into martyrdom, believing that their suffering is somehow noble, that to sacrifice endlessly is the purest form of love. But the soul's journey for the six is to transcend this illusion and recognize that true love is not about depletion, it is about wholeness. To nurture others while still nurturing the self, to hold the balance of compassion with boundaries, of responsibility with freedom. In relationships, the six is the devoted partner, the faithful lover, the one who takes vows seriously and seeks harmony above all. They are rarely casual in matters of the heart, for to them love is sacred. They bring a sense of stability and commitment that can be deeply healing for their partners. A relationship with the six often feels like being held, supported, and cared for in ways that touch the soul. But again, the challenge lies in balance. A six may sometimes love so deeply that they lose themselves in the process, molding their identity around the needs of another. When this happens, resentment may quietly build, or the relationship may become suffocating. The lesson of the six in love is to realize that true partnership is not about merging into one, but about standing side by side, whole and complete, choosing each other freely rather than out of obligation. Spiritually, the Life Path 6 represents the universal principle of harmony. It is aligned with the sacred duty of healing, of restoring balance to brokenness, of bringing light into the places of shadow. Many sixes feel drawn to spiritual or humanitarian work, whether through formal roles or simply in the way they live their daily lives. They're often guided by a sense of moral clarity, a deep knowing of right and wrong, and a yearning to align their actions with higher truths. For them, spirituality is not always about rituals or doctrines, but about the lived experience of love, kindness, and compassion. Their faith often shows itself through service, through the meals cooked, the hands held, the sacrifices made, and the beauty created in small, everyday acts. But even here, the six must be wary of the shadow. Their spiritual duty can sometimes become heavy, as though they must save everyone, heal everyone, fix the world's brokenness single-handedly. This is an impossible burden, and when carried too long, it leads to despair. The six must learn that their role is not to rescue, but to guide, not to carry, but to uplift. Their task is not to erase suffering from the world, but to remind others of their own power to heal, to love, to grow. In doing this, they also learn to remind themselves of their own humanity, their own limits, and the necessity of receiving care as much as giving it.
The symbolism of the six is rich and ancient. In sacred geometry, the hexagon is a form of balance, appearing in the structure of crystals and the symmetry of the honeycomb. It is nature's way of arranging energy efficiently, harmoniously. In the tarot, the number 6 is often linked to the Lovers, a card that speaks of harmony, union, choices, and the sacred bond between beings. It is no coincidence that the 6 carries these themes in numerology as well. It is the vibration of family, of unity, of the sacred balance between self and other. The 6 soul is here to embody this truth, to live out the archetype of the healer, the harmonizer, the nurturer of the human spirit. Challenges on the path of the 6 often arrive in the form of relationships and responsibilities. A 6 may feel called to care for a parent, a sibling, or a community, often at the expense of their own freedom. They may struggle with guilt when they choose themselves over others, or feel selfish for pursuing personal dreams. This guilt can be a heavy weight, binding them in cycles of self-denial. But the sole lesson for the 6 is to understand that love cannot thrive in chains. To care for others while neglecting the self is not true harmony, but imbalance disguised as virtue. The 6 must learn the sacred art of boundaries, the truth that saying no can sometimes be the most loving act of all. When they embody this balance, they step fully into their power as healers, not as martyrs, but as beacons of wholeness. Over the course of their life, the 6 evolves from the role of rescuer to the role of guide. In their youth, many 6s find themselves drawn to situations where they are needed, often rescuing friends, partners, or family members from crises. They may feel defined by their usefulness, believing their worth comes only from what they can provide. But as they grow spiritually, they come to understand that their true gift lies not in fixing others, but in inspiring them. The mature 6 embodies love without attachment, care without control, and responsibility without self-erasure. They shine as leaders in families, communities, and movements, carrying the vibration of harmony wherever they go. Their homes may become centers of healing, their voices may inspire others to compassion, and their presence may serve as a reminder of the divine love that moves quietly through all of life. In this way, the 6 mirrors the archetype of the divine parent, not merely in the literal sense, but as an energy that watches over, guides, and nurtures. They carry the vibration of the sacred mother, who loves unconditionally, and the sacred father, who protects and provides. When balanced, this archetype is not smothering, but empowering, not controlling, but liberating. The 6 learns that the highest form of love is to give others the space to grow, even if it means letting them walk away, make mistakes, or choose paths the 6 would not have chosen for them. It is in this surrender that the 6 finds its greatest strength, the ability to love without possession, to serve without self-destruction, and to heal without carrying the world's pain as their own. For those walking the life path of 6, the journey is not just personal, it is cosmic. They are called to embody love in a world that often forgets it. They are here to remind humanity of the importance of family, of community, of compassion that extends beyond the self. Their lives ripple outward, touching countless others, even in ways they may never see or know. Every act of kindness, every moment of care, every sacrifice made in love becomes part of a greater harmony, a song of healing that echoes across the collective soul of humanity. And though the path may be heavy at times, though the lessons may feel demanding, the 6 who embraces their truth will discover a profound joy, a deep fulfillment that arises from knowing they have lived their purpose. To walk the path of 6 is to accept the sacred duty of love. It is to become a guardian, a healer, a harmonizer of life's discordant notes. It is to learn again and again that love is not about losing oneself, but about expanding the self, not about control, but about freedom, not about sacrifice, but about balance. The 6 is the reminder that love is the most powerful force in the universe, not a fleeting emotion, but a way of being, a vibration that heals, transforms, and sustains. And for those who carry this number, their very existence becomes a testament to this truth. They are the ones who remind us that in the end, it is not power, fame, or wealth that endures, but the love we give and the harmony we create. For in that love, the soul of the 6 finds its truest home.